our channel, Loving Handcrafts by BMW. This is Brenda. So, I am going to be doing something slightly different today. I have prepared several panels for card fronts. So, I need to do some like maintenance and just do some things to make finalize these cards, because they're all not finalized. They're not on card bases. I've gotten most of the work done, but I haven't finished them. So I've just been making card fronts and just making, decorative stuff, doing all the pretty stuff. But now it's time to get down to work and adhere them to some card bases. So I'm going to take you along on that journey. But before I get started, I wanted to do something with my Gina K stencil. So I'm going to be doing this. This is real quick. Only because I messed up one of my card fronts when I was playing around. I made a boo-boo and got this in here. I tried to cover it up, but I don't like it. So my spirit won't let me finish it. I'll keep this in my journal, my crafting journal, just as to show what I've done. But I'm going to redo it. So I'm going to be using the Gina K Designs stencil today, and it come like this. There's like 3 panels, or 3 stencils. So let me show you if I can. I can't know if you can see that's marked as 1. Then this is 2, and then this is 3. Hopefully you can see that. You may not be able to catch it. So I'm going to use this, and it's going to be really quick. I also have already cut down my card base, or my card front. So I've got that done. I'm going to be using, and I'm sorry, my inks are all over this place, but I'm going to be using some Altenew inks today as well. This is the Enchanted Garden. I got these on sale about a year, maybe 2 years ago, when Altenew was putting all of their little inks on sale. This line, the crisp dye ink, because they were getting ready to launch or replace it with a new line of inks. And I've never had Altenew ink, so I'm really liking them. So I'm going to use the, just so you know, they come in like 4 colors. So the lightest to the darkest, which is this Andromeda. So I'm going to be using Wisteria, Hydrangea, and then Ultraviolet. And then I'm also going to be using, from their Green Valley, I'm going to be using, I'm going to be using these 2 for my leaves. So I'll put them to the side. So let me bring in my sticky mat, which is here. Put that out the way. Let's put them up there. And then I'm going to lay down my card here. Hopefully I got it in the right order. And I'm leaving this as a reference line. So this is number 1. And I think I got it just about right from last time. And I may or may not be adding some other stuff, but let's get started. So I'm going to get my little blending brush. And I'm going to start with the Wisteria. And we're going to put that there. Yep. And I got my little block. Keep my hands off. And then I am just going to start blending in a circular manner. And I'm applying really light pressure to begin with. You can always increase the pressure. But this is my lightest color, and I'm usually have a light hand anyway. So I'm just going to go over all of these. There we go. So I'm going to go backwards and forwards in a circular motion, clockwise and then counterclockwise. And I'm going to build up some color. That's why I'm using 3 colors. And you don't have to use, if you only have one set of purple inks, you could do exactly what I'm doing. Start really, really light and then go darker as you add more pressure. The more pressure you add, the darker your ink will lay down. But I always start with a really, really light hand. I'm going to try not to put my... Then go the other way. Swirl, swirl, swirl. Then swirl it down. This is my mom's favorite color, purple. This would make a great Mother's Day card. As a matter of fact, you've got a stamp or sometimes I lay it up like this. That way the block won't get stuck. And because I know I'm using 3 colors, like I said, this first color can be really, really applied very lightly. And I really am loving layering stamps. Because if you don't like, can't do inking, this is a good way to go. Okay, so this is the next darkest color, which is the hydrangea, which is modern hydrangea. Hence, hence, hence. I asked what colors were hydrangeas in the quote unquote wild, and I got blue, pink, white, and purple. So I made sure I've got some more that I've done in at least a couple of those colors. I think I'm just stuck on this purple because it's so pretty. And I'm doing the first, the lightest, and then the light, the mid, and then the darker color. I'm using the 2 lighter colors on this one stencil. There's not a third 1, 2, and 3. So I just went ahead and used it here because the third stencil is the greenery for the leaves. So I just figured I would do it this way. And you don't have to do as light as I'm doing. And I'll bring you down a little closer. I think you're a little bit too far up. But I'll bring you down when I apply the next layer. And I really, really like these colors from Altenew. They're really nice. Even the one I messed up looks nice. I mean, and I used, for this one, I used Hydrangea, Ultraviolet, and Andromeda. I went even darker with this one. But it still turned out great. Except I was trying to be extra and jacked up something. So that was my fault for trying to be extra. I think I got enough color. And you continue to what you think is right for you, for your eye. Okay, I think that's good for me. Close that up. Okay, so those are the 2. So I'm going to carefully lift this up and look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? I don't have any water. Let me grab some water. I'm going to go ahead and spritz this off camera just to keep the ink from pooling on the stencil. I'm just cleaning it off camera. Just giving it a spritz of water. Okay. Then I'm going to take number 2. Whoops. And this is quite stained. And then I'm going to line it up. And for the most part, sorry if my head gets in the way, I can kind of sort of get it. I can kind of get it on this first one. These other ones are a little tricky. So I usually work with this top flower and get everything lined up first. And then I'll reposition it for the other ones. And just to be on the safe side so I don't get any ink where I don't want it to be, I usually just cover this up. Now, I'm not sure if this is right or wrong, but this is how I did it, just to make sure everything lined up and looked fine. I'm sure it wasn't designed that way, but I'm pretty sure it's operator error more than anything else. So this is the darkest color before you put the last step. And I really use a heavier hand with this one. And it doesn't take much to get that good contrast. So clockwise, counterclockwise. Okay. That's what it looks like. Isn't that pretty? And then I do try to line the next ones up. And sometimes it'll just line right in place, you know, and then sometimes it won't. It just depends. But this is how I did it. Usually I can get them all up. There we go. I think I just got it all in place. Okay. It's just that first one I'm always gun shy about, because I think that sets the tone. Alright, and when I was cleaning that, I gotta put that down. So let me bring it down a little further. There you go. Okay. Now we won't make no boo-boos this time. Okay, so start up in the air and then lay it down. These are just so nice. I don't have a lot of Gina K products, but I like this one. I got her a lot of her polyglaze and her foiling stuff, but I had never really done a lot with her stencils. And then when she was on HSBC Fest, that's when I got like, oh, I got clued in, so to speak. I'm saving that one for last, because this little part came up. I don't know, I was too vigorous in cleaning, and so the little thing is popped up. I wasn't careful when I was cleaning it, so I got a little thing that pokes up. So I try to hold it down. See if I can hold it with my finger. There we go. That way I won't mess up my flowers. Okie dokie. That's good on there. Okay, let's remove that. Let's lift this up. Oh, that one's still ultraviolet. That one's not as dark as the rest of them. I'm really pressing down on this. There we go. Got a little, oh, okay, perfect. Let me spray this with some water. lastly is the greenery, which should fit right in there. This is the stencil number 3, which is the greenery. Okay, and then I'll make sure I put something down here just to make sure not to jack up my stencil. All right, let's put these back in its holder. Wisteria, hydrangea, ultraviolet. Like I said, this is called Green Valley, so I'm going to be using, I could use Firefly, but I think I like the, and I haven't gone deeper. I could use these two, but I'm going to use these two because I like the airiness of that green. Okay, put that back up and grab these two. So I'm gonna start with my lightest color, and I'm gonna lay down that light hand with just a little. This goes a lot faster. Just a shot of color. These stencils, man, it looks like you spent hours and hours and hours coloring and getting everything to come out just right with just laying down your color. And then doing the and then just doing the wax on, wax off is what I call it from Karate Kid. If you ever remember from back in the day, Daniel-san, wax on, wax off. So I'm doing my wax on, wax off. I amuse myself. This is my version of wax on, wax off. And when you drop that darker green on top of this, oh my goodness, it's going to look glowy and flowy and airy. It's really pretty. I've never heard anybody call it wax on, wax off. That's so hilarious. Just thought of it a few minutes ago. So I'm loading up with my next color, which is Shadow Creek. And then I start the motion in the air. And then that way I try not to have just a big blob when you start. Now you can certainly go darker as you need, whatever. So this is just what looks good to your eye. It's candy for my eye, so this is what I like. But you could like something more bold and intense. Okay, almost done. That didn't take too long. Yeah. Now, if you wanted to, you could go with the third color on top of this, but I'm gonna darken that up. I'm gonna leave it just like that. And then now I have a panel that's ready. And that's what it looks like. And I just think it's just gorgeous with those 3 colors of purple, and they look like we've got like a little halo effect going on. I'm rinsing off this on the back. You can't see it, but I'm trying to make sure I get that ink off the stencil. I'm thinking I might go back through and try to redo this with some of these dots, Like, I didn't want them everywhere. I just wanted to fill up some of the white space. So I think I'm going to do that now and try my darndest not to jack it up like I did the first time. So I'm going to be really mindful. And for that one, I am going to use the Andromeda. Try not to jack it up. Hence, this is what this is for. I wasn't paying attention when I did it, and the Post-it notes. So I really wasn't. And I don't want to put the purple on top of my green. I'm just not doing that. I just wanted to fill in some of the white spots, the white areas. So that's why I'm rolling out with the Post-it notes. And then this is your choice. You don't have to do it this way. This is what I'm doing. And get a cluster of 3 here. I'll be darned on it if I'm going to mess up my card this time. And if you were mailing this and you added some sequins or something, this just keeps it. I'm basically using this as my sequency thing. Over here. Oh yeah, you get a nice big cluster right here. Oh yeah, okay, here we go. That works. See, I'm going to roll in that one. I'm going to do that area. I can control where I want everything to go. Just in case. I'm trying to cover up every area that I don't want it to go because I wasn't paying that much of attention last time. So I'm going to go back over here and pick up those. And then over here and pick up these. And that one too. Let's see. Oh yeah. Let's see if I can get some right in between here. I'm sorry, I'm a little gun shy now, so. And see how dark that Andromeda is? If I had moved that down a little, I could have got one there. Let's just clip that purple. I don't want to turn it, nope, I don't want to turn it to mud. We're not doing that. Couple more on this side. And then we could be good to go. Like one right there. Let's see if I can be very careful. There we go. And then big in here. Okay, going rogue here. Alright, that's all I'm going to do. Look, I got a faint one right there. See? Okay, I'm done. I'm not going to touch anything else. But that filled it out a little bit. I think took up some of the white space. But I like white space. So, and I got got ink on my hands, so I need to be really careful. Okay, so that's this. So now I've replaced that one. Could tell this is darker because I use the darker colors, but then I'm going to put it like that. So let's get a card base going. I'm going to go wash my hands because it's got ink all over it. I'm going to be using a white card base. And I don't want to jack that up. So let me go wash my hands and I'll be back and we can assemble some cards. So I've cleaned up my stencils. I've looked at, and so now I'm ready to put this on. So this was my initial idea, but I don't think I like that. That's a lot of white. So what I think I'm going to do, this is a 5x7 card base. I think I'm going to move in this color. And I'm not sure if I like that color or if I like a lighter color of purple. Let's see. Let's try it this way. Don't know. Do I have any other color purple? Let's see. Got this purple. So now it's just a matter of now when you're putting together your card, what you like. That might be two. That might be two. No, that's not going to go. Nope. 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 So the question is, do I want to go darker, lighter? Let's see. All my purples here. I'm committed to the black background since I've already cut it out. But I think this is going to be my best bet, this one right here. So I'm going to cut this out. So I've got I think it's A7 or whatever it is. I've got the die to cut that out. I think I'm going to go ahead and do that. And I might come back from this and then also I might end up doing some dry embossing on this. But let me be back. I'm going to cut out two. Do I have any more? So, oh yeah, you can tell the difference when you don't use three. I'm going to hang on to that one too. This is the full panel, so it might just go like that. Well, not quite the full panel. I'm not sure. This is why I wait to do these. And I might put gems on this one and not go back and do the dots. I got a little green here, so my sentiment's going to have to go here. And I could run this through the embossing folder, like to give it a little bit more going on. I don't know if I cut out. We did not cut out the pink. What you guys think? I'll stick with the purple and let's do this one first. I may only end up getting a couple of cards out of here because now I got to rethink everything because I hadn't planned on anything. I was just putting together the cards. But this is the thought process behind the scenes. Like, what do you do? I didn't have anything prepared beforehand. Do I just do it with the purple and no black? That might be pretty too. And then leave the white. Okay, so I'm gonna go. This is I think this is from Spellbinders. This is the set that I used to cut this one out. So I used, let's take this out of here. So I used, not that one. I used this one. Right, okay, yes, I used that one. So the next one would be this one. And that might be better than the black. And then I would have the white showing it. Okay, so let's do that. I'll be right back while I go cut that out. So I don't want to waste your time. I shall return. Okay, so while I was off camera, I went ahead and cut the two panels out. I went ahead and used an embossing folder on one, which you really can't see a lot of. I hate when I polish my nails. Okay, so I think that is going to be just fine. And actually, I wish I would have went up a step above. That's a lot of white showing. Let me go back and use this one. Okay, let me go back and use this one, because that's a lot of white. That's not as much white as I wanted to do it, and I should have did this one too. So yeah, this is what happens when you're creating. And I think I'm going to leave this for later, because this won't go to waste, nor will this one go to waste. But let me cut this one out. Is that the right color? No, should be darker. Should be this one. Be right back. Okay, this is exactly what I was looking for. Much, much better. Now, you could bring in the black and then step it down like that, but I think that's too dark, so I'm going to just do it like this. I think I'm going to hang it on that. Now, I don't want to go back and get an embossing folder, because I do have some embossing folders that are pretty big. That might be the way to go, but I'm going to hang on to this one, and I might use it on something else. Okay, I think that's it. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not changing my mind anymore. That's it. That's what it's gonna be. That's how it's gonna live. You should see my desk over here. So let me tidy up, because then if you have a tidy brain, your brain can be tidy. I mean, it takes forever. I mean, especially if you have something in your head and you want it to come out right. This is the process. Put this back up. So let me put this back in my neat folder. I have trays that are set in rainbow order with all my cardstock. So I don't actually put a label on there, because it can be a mix of anybody's papers. So I just keep it in rainbow order. And then that way I can just go right to the right color. I think I'm going to pop this up, but I didn't bring anything over on this side to pop it up. But I'm going to go ahead and lay this down first. And hopefully my glue will work. Come on. Oh no. Okay. It's been on the base all night, and I forgot to put the cap on, so see if that'll work it. Okay. See if that'll loosen her up. Yeah, that's it. So yeah, only in your head do you know what it's supposed to look like. No one else knows. And that's the other thing I've had to remind myself. It says only you know what you had intended. Everyone else just sees a pretty card. My mom and my husband told me, "You're your worst critic." Yeah, I'm my worst critic. All right, let me go grab some. I do this to myself every time. I never get my laundry list down. Okay, that's going to be pretty. Is that straight? Sure it's straight. Does it look straight? Yeah, it looks straight. And then this will go in like that. Oh yeah. It looks plain, but that's okay. I can always dress it up. I have to grab the foam strips, so I'm using the squares. Hallelujah. Just grab the first thing. It'll be all right. I think when I finalize this, I will put on some, I think I'll put on some sparkly sequins as well, just to bring it out a little bit. But you never know. It's a plain card. I don't do these 5x7s a lot. I'm gonna go back and rethink those. I don't really do these. But that's why I say you have to go ahead and I do all the nice card fronts, because you know I want to get those done, and then you can come together and put together a card base. And I have some birthday cards to do, so these could very well turn into birthday cards. I have a couple of more birthday cards to do for my coworkers, so that's why I wanted to go ahead and get some of these out on the base and everything, and get these lined up. Oh, upside down. Okay. Make sure I get it lined up. Looks about right to me. There you go. Yeah. Pretty. So I can put something in here. I can actually take a block, and if I want to stamp something, stamp it, and not put it in my MISTI. And then didn't varnish this. Let's crease these. There you go. And then I got my card number 1. Put that onto the side, move you out the way. Now I have these. I'm going to hold off on because it's going to take some mental power, and I don't want you to see me struggling. But I like the white on white. But so this just focuses in on that. And I might end up doing that by popping that up. But we'll see, and then have something down here, right in here, to cover that up, because that's got to get covered up. But also I can pick some sequins as well. So that's the thought process with that. Let me go ahead, and this is heavy cardstock I used, so this is some pretty heavy cardstock. And I didn't do a black background on this one, so that would be the one. Then I have another one. Do I have another one? I thought I had a blue one. Do I not have a blue one? Thought I had a blue one. No, I had. Let's see. Thought I had a blue one. Okay. So I did do a blue one, right, Brenda? Can't find the blue one. I must have put it up somewhere. Oh well, I can't find my blue one, but I had a blue one somewhere. I put someplace. Okay, well that takes care of that one. So I did this one a while ago, and I'll link to the video. So I'm gonna make that into a thank you card, like that. That was another thing. I'm not. Do I wanna pop it up? Yes, I'll pop it up. I'm so just mad at myself for not grabbing the foams. Let me grab that. I don't want to have to be fiddle farting with those individual things. Scissors. Yeah, this goes a lot faster. Everything gets dimension. Oh, you should see my desk, man. It's a minefield right now. Let's see if I got enough. Okay, double check. Nothing sagging. Okay, good deal. No, this is so much better. I guess I could have added some more in here, but that's all good. This just helps me get a little bit of grace in case I have to reposition. Everything's going the right way. Yep. And I just put streak of, turn it sideways. Just put a streak of nail polish on there. That is one reason I hate painting my nails. Okay, that's 2 down. Just finishing up some cards. Then you can put some sequins on that too. This one card. Then I made these a while ago. One day I was just practicing with some stuff I got, and I did some die cutting and some ink blending and put these all together. So I'm going to turn those into cards. And then the thing that I'm looking for is, I don't want to put them right on that. So I'm looking at that pink. Let's see. Might have it, might not. Just trying to think of what would look good. Hell, even the green would look good. But here we go. Here's some pink. That makes that pop. Again, I like the white border, so I might be cutting that down. Because I do like the white border around it. But I like the white card base because you don't have to put another thing in there if you use a colored card base. That's why I always use white. And that might be the way. If I use all of this, I'm definitely running that through an embossing folder. No doubt in my mind. I could actually use the green. Let's see. That's more blue. Oh, I don't like that green. Do I like this green? Oh, pink and green, you know. That, oh, now that's pretty. Oh, that made it pop, pop, pop. And then for the orange, let's see. I got this warm color. No, that's nah. Maybe this mint. There we go. Those are my bases. I have no idea who these are going to. These are just me playing around with different things. I used some stuff in my stash, some die cuts that I had in my stash, some things that are already cut out. I cut these out. I think they're from Spellbinders. I'll put a link to what they are in the description. But I think I'm going to run all these through, and I'm going to use the same embossing folder. That way I don't have to go use mental headspace to do it again. I think I'm going to keep them all full so I don't have to cut, just run it through the embossing folder. I'll be right back. Alright, so I ran these all through the embossing folder. So I'm going to go ahead and adhere these to that. But I think that made it look interesting. And I used my Gina K Intricate. I don't think I have the setting all the way right, but oh well. I got some deeper impressions. I didn't have it's a dial system, so I didn't have the dial to the tightness to get a good impression. So this is more subtle, which is okay. It can be subtle. I'm okay with that. And then that's gonna go like there. That's gonna be pretty. That's pretty. I've already got a 3D element because the flowers popped up. I might go back and I could have swore I filmed something using this die. This is like my favorite die on from Spellbinders. I got it on one of those warehouse clearance things. Jesus, I really don't like that. Oh, it looks weird. Am I going to be able to fix this? Nope. Might as well leave it alone. I'm not going to be able to fix it. Oh well. So I'm back. I have family members calling, wishing happy Easter. So I didn't want to not ignore their call. Because you never know. Let's turn it on its side. Making sure it's straight. Didn't do such a hot job with that, but forgive me. Alright, that's one card down. I'm going to do the next one. I really like this mint color. I thought it was a good choice to go here. I will do a better job of adhering this. So you can tell I got a better impression. And I didn't wet the cardstock or anything. I didn't mist it with any water. I just ran it through dry. So dry embossing with the embossing folder. So I did not do that. Okay, this is a better way. I don't want to impede on the hinge, but I could do a better job. There we go. Much better job. And this one I'll go ahead and raise up since it doesn't have any 3D effect on it. So we'll do the same with this. And I'll do my last one. And then I try not to make these videos long, but it is what it is. So I do appreciate if you're still with me to the end. I really appreciate it. I actually planned on more cards, but the inking took a little more time than I thought, so I'll just finish those off, or I'll just do another video, because I have some Mother Day cards, so I might go ahead and just do that by itself. I've already got a couple Mother Day's cards done, because that's next. That's the next big holiday, and then I've got to figure out what I'm going to do for Father's Day. Actually, I'm going to move that up a little. And that little green gem kind of, I think I'm going to do it like that. I'm so happy. Oh. Grab that. Try not to poke myself. Oops. Try not to poke myself. I've got a little thing that was supposed to be for clean your ink brushes. Just turn it into a little trash can. That was a Dollar Tree thing I did. Okay, let me make sure you guys can see that. A little bit of glue along the thing. And turn it this way. Sideways is better. I don't know why. But you can kind of see it from all sides. And I'm having it come up, go down a little. Here we go. And this is me ink blending. Doing some inky. And then this is the last one. Make sure that goes at the bottom. Okay, last one. And what I'm going to end up doing is right before I started filming, I went ahead and used my Cricut to do some card bases, some 5x7s, because I usually don't have them in my stash. I usually try to take a day, like when I'm not doing anything. So my plan is take a day, cut out card bases. Take a day, cut out card panels. So I think what I'm going to do is when I do like the matting, I think I'm going to take a day. Let me pop this up too, and actually do any, if I'm going to use a mat, if I want to go ahead and pick out some embossing folders, do some dry embossing, do that. If I want to do something special to the mat, because I end up matting most of my cards anyway. So I'm going to go ahead and take a moment and do all of that work, that prep work ahead of time. So then when I do stuff like this, just, you know, playing, and then then I'll be able to just come in and do a card. I don't have to go back and cut it again. I don't have to go back and emboss it again. It'll be pretty much ready to go. And then that saves a little bit of time, because when you're wanting to kick out a card, now I got to stop and go and emboss it. Then I got to stop and go and add this, or I got to stop and do this. And all I want to do is just assemble a card. So that's what I'm going to do. And I don't necessarily want to put the dimensionals on there, because I don't know if I'm going to pop it up or not. So that'll always be in the heat of the moment, so to speak. Okay, that's the last one. Let me put together all the cards I put through. So this was stuff out of my stash, just so you know, stuff I already just was playing with, like my Friday night creative stuff. And that's one card. And then here's another random card that I put together. And then here's another card that I put together. So these are all of the things I put together in this session. So again, if you made it to this far in the game, just like, subscribe, comment. That's my call to action to help our channel grow. If you like me to go on camera, I know I've done this one on camera. I'm not sure if I did any cutting in of these, but these are just me playing with stamping and inking and getting my inking techniques down, so that when I'm ready to put something together, it'll look pretty nice. And so yeah, so I'll talk to you guys next time. I'll be promising to bring a Mother's Day project, because I already have that all worked out, and actually everything is done. So I'll just get it ready for the camera. And I will talk to you guys later. Take care.